Already partialed at 5. Stop is above the bearish fair value gap that'll form here. Because I don't like that we wick that, right? Oh, wait. So right, we enter here on this fair value gap. Partial here at this low. Just looking for this sell side here to be met. And that'll get us out. At this point, new bearish fair value gap here. Stop at break even. I was thinking, could we go, if we're very bearish, midnight open, honestly. Oh wait, I don't want to do that though. Just trying to debate if I want to actually go for a little larger pool coming off of this daily level up here. Fuck it. So I like the midnight level. What I'll do, because I don't have any contracts left, is I'll use my probably stop loss. We have sell side there as well. We'll leave that there. Yep. Oh, I just did it right there. I'm weak. But I mean, for me, right, my stop at this entry was above this. So the previous day's high. Oops. Let's go here like that. Right, previous day high, end of volume imbalance. So this one, I was just expecting us to actually hold on the fair value gap here. That's paired with the 830. So using the 830 level. Once we break structure now and close below this low, this high is protected. So you can already go like that. Right? For me, though, because I partialed already, once I partial, I go break even, no matter what, usually. Because at that point, we should be far enough away from the entry to where it shouldn't be revisited. But now because we have, what I might do actually is, we have a 2-minute fair value gap here. So I might just close the full position here at that low we're looking for. And then if we come back into this, see, that's large, too large for me. See, just sometimes you gotta think. Lows. I like the idea of, what's this 15 doing? Hourly, huge wick. Yeah, once I go break even, I partial. Or once I partial, I go break even. Other way around. Kind of just want 10, to be honest. We'll do that. I think we could use this. I feel like if we're going to come into this, we're going to reject from it. Fuck it. I lied. I lied when I agree. Equal lows, chance of wicking those and flipping. So I'm just here. I'm content. Right, this is sell side. We're good. We're good here. Okay, sure. Hmm. I'd be weak. Oh, okay. See, how does that one get me out there? But when it actually hits it, it doesn't? Explain. Hey, we ain't complaining though. There we go. Yeah, nice and easy one. I wish I would have had this one, right? I wasn't even really looking at this. This would have been an A plus setup. Sweeping a daily high, breaking underneath an old inversion that we used to get up into it with a swing low breaker. Perfectly aligned with the bearish fair value gap with sell side targets. Thought it'd been juicy. But we capitalize here. So we understand we're just going to continue this, right? This is not an instance where I'm expecting chop, like a run on stops here and then it's going to reverse. This is a pretty exaggerated move and it's coming off of a daily level. Right? So that's also important. Breaking through all these discounts without really hesitating at all. Right underneath the old daily high, right underneath 830 with that fair value gap. And as we mentioned, this run here, too shallow of a run, in my opinion, of this low. Right, that was one tick. So we're expecting a retracement first. We get short there, and then obviously our target was, right, first 5 handles, and now that sell side here. But now I'm still really interested in this as a possibility up here. So we do want to go for that midnight level. Man, I hate not getting the swing low. That's so annoying. You tell me one candle? Come on. We should have rejected right here at least. Or the high. I didn't get either this morning. Sloppy. Missed the swing high and the swing low. DXY. I'd only look at the dollar if I'm being honest. But my daily high. Nah, it's a 4-hour high. I was lying to you. Right there. It's this high. Oh wait, I'm tripping. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, I'm tripping. It's at this level here. So it's these equal highs. Right here. Inside this fair value gap. Right, we're cutting through it. Which I must... Let me see the daily. Oh my god, that indicator goes crazy when it's on this. Yeah, because the daily, right? This is the only high for the daily that we have. This is a day high, though. High of day. Like, let me... Hold up. This is getting crazy. Goes like this. Like this. The high of this day. Because we may not have touched the high. No, we still did clear that, actually. So, right, the daily high here. We've hit that. Yeah, we hit that. Right there, so that would be another potential little entry. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no, I use the continuous. That's why I always use it. I don't ever use anything but the continuous contract. And it's for that reason right there, honestly. I mean, I've just found the continuous in my analysis will respect the levels more often. Right, and it prints as we expect. On the opens run up, was there an entry to be a part of the move? Well, let's see. What time was 9:30 even? So 9:30, we go complete one-sided. I mean, you'd have had to use the breaker, right, which would have been kind of tricky. But we could use this low to this high to this low. That gets broken here. Only real entry would have been understanding we're getting into new week opening gaps if we're extremely bullish. Pull out that breaker. All right, so we got the breaker there with the new week opening gap. That's really as far as we go. We leave that as a breakaway even. Yeah, and here pretty bullish. Not even really a volume imbalance entry. This would have been one as well, but depending on what you were aiming for, that's probably not even worth it. Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to get 5. Because we hadn't delivered into that daily target yet. All right, we could have returned into this and then deliver. But really the clean set is for the shorts. So now on the way down, right, that gives you the chance here. YouTube setup, breaker, inversion, bearish, everything aligned, melt. Back into fair value gap. Right, we're using that with 830. As we also said, now breaker here. High, low, higher, high, broken. Drag that out. Candle bodies never break. Mean threshold. And now we're back in here. Maybe here. I don't mind that if we're bearish. I don't like how we're kind of holding discounts here though as we're going into it. Because wait, this is the 2-minute. That's the 1 minute. What's the 5? No 5. Do we have original consolidation that the price possibly could target lows? Yeah, I mean, near that midnight level. Right, power of 3 here in London. So we open, short-term high, we go underneath the midnight, break above. These equal lows here is what I would look at though. Right, because these equal lows are really on the 8:30 level or the midnight open. Which I don't know why it's, oh, hold up. Okay. Bro, did I not just, what? Did I not just do this? Confused. Nice, okay. So we should hold from there, keep running lower. That's fair, Nino. For me, I kind of understood that with how aggressive price was moving, right? So sometimes I won't take trades before news. But with how aggressive price had already moved following 9:30, the news was more likely to continue in whatever was already predetermined here. Right? If we were kind of like chopping before the news, I would stay out because then news could have a kind of a chance to be more volatile and just spike for liquidity. But when we have already delivered into that daily high, right, we're obviously holding the premium and now we're breaking aggressively. The news here will just be used as a catalyst to continue in the given direction, which is why I was fine going short. And then right at 10 o'clock, you see, right, as we mentioned, that catalyst sends it lower into the low, ultimately into the sell side. So we've just ran sell side again. Just a wick though. We can still, I'm not convinced that we are bullish yet. Right, we left these highs underneath consequent encroachment of that bearish fair value gap. And we still have this bearish inversion on the 1, not on the 2, but on the 1. The low of it aligns with consequent encroachment of the 2-minute. So I could see now running these highs. This would be like a false bull signal, maybe. Reject from here to take out the low again. Because look at that, we made equal lows right there. Like that. Equal lows here. Bro, no way I did that again. Baby. Do you think we're creating 3 drives? I mean, that's a possibility. From up here, 1, 2, 3, wick. We've already came back for the 1. If we were to get above the 2-minute consequent encroachment, ooh, we just did actually. So seeing something like that, right? Us kind of getting through that consequent encroachment. I want to see what this candle does. But if we were to leave a fair value gap here, we may actually want to revisit this level here, that old daily high with the volume imbalance. We do have untapped inefficiencies up here as well. So yeah, if that fair value gap got left open, we probably actually do want to continue higher. So it looks like it will get left. It did, volume imbalance. Watch that, actually. We might just tap that and go. Because let's see, do we get above that? Yeah, we might hit the little tap and go on that. Interesting. Never came back down into the close even. Back to back. That that one hits the close. See if the price would want to get into that one though. We tapped a low of it. Consequent encroachment gives, right? We're obviously going to go for this. May actually come back into this one here. I want to see. Okay. So yeah, this one here actually may be the inefficiency we are trying to get into. Right, inversion 2-minute back above the 1-minute volume imbalance, not even returning into fair value gaps. Couldn't even get into that volume imbalance again. And now we close above consequent encroachment of the fair value gap. Could still get into this. Is it on a 2-minute? Not on a 2-minute. 2-minute volume imbalance. Aye. So we're back into that volume imbalance for the first time. Right, we left it open. If we start kind of overtaking, because like the 2 minute is still holding the fair value gap. The 5 minute never got into the fair value gap, so honestly the 5 minute I would expect to get into that fair value gap. 1 minute. Yeah. I'll just look at 2 minute consequent encroachment. Right, so there's still that fair value gap here that we could look at paired with OB. Kind of that YouTube setup. So as far as a discount, right, this could still hold us. I mean, best case scenario is that we can kind of hold this how we are now, and this volume imbalance still holds price. That'd be more of a bullish signature. So I'm kind of thinking if we've closed above this consequent encroachment of this fair value gap after already repricing into the high and leaving it, the intention of price more than likely is to continue higher, right? So then we would look like we mentioned for this inefficiency here, this level. Got your bread on the way down? Yes, sir. Good stuff, brisket. Hey, no problem, brother. That was all you. You pressed the button. Yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're out of here, if not, I'll wish you another one after the end of the stream. We've wicked into the hourly fair value gap. Nice. So yeah, that's kind of what we would want to see. We go back into that, right, 2 minute here. We'll do the 1 minute. 2 minute consequent encroachment holds. Previous day high, right? We look for this level here. And we go through it pretty quickly. Nice. Maybe new week opening gap level again, actually, if we're going to get up into it. Because it's the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. Could be that level. So we went long. Okay, and we're out right there. So I think we'll be good for the day too, actually. We just got out here. Went long here in this candle. Let's show. So we had, oh, be a swing high for us, brother. That is what we want. We wanted to swing high. So we go short, right? This was a little tricky one too. Actually, had to be quick with it. Went short here, obviously, right? Got out at sell side. I had a limit set at consequent encroachment of this fair value gap because I wanted to see if we couldn't turtle soup this high, break lower. So I get short as we hit that. But, right, I notice that, okay, we get above it once, and now we leave it with the volume imbalance. So as we come back into this volume imbalance, I'm flipping the position. Right, so I go from the sells to the buys, buying 2. Consolidate, we come back into the actual volume imbalance, I add again in the volume imbalance. Missed the swing low once again. We got the swing high though, so. Right, get the swing high, just barely. Now we continue to push. We exit on the new week opening gap here, inside this inefficiency we were aiming for. But I should have added one more inside the damn fair value gap. Not have been clean. See, I'll be getting flustered. Yeah, we'll go with that. Take it down, take it back up. We like that, swinging it. Look how we tapped the high of that. Could have went one here, one there. That'd have been nice. Fair value gap created as we go through the old daily high. We've taken over, we've gotten above the breaker as well. Reclaimed OB style. Yo, this is pissing me off. Oh, okay. Left the equal lows here, actually, though. But yeah, right, this ended up being the 1, 2, 3. Back up we go. I mean, hey, closing above that with a new swing low. Not interested in entering anymore, but kind of tape read that. Like that there. Mm. Whoa. Hello? I don't know what just happened there, fellas. Sorry. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why I did that. I was gonna try to share a paper trade here. I was like, we can paper trade this. I'll be content with what we had. Let's say we use new week opening gap here. So I'm looking at like a 2-minute, because we have a 2-minute fair value gap here, actually, which I like that a lot better. So as we break up, we have a 2-minute fair value gap. That would leave us with the stop underneath. We've hit consequent encroachment though. No, we'll go all the way down here for it. Oh, 946 fair value gap. 946. Potentially, yeah. Inversion paired with bearish. If we can hold here. But we may come into this old daily high again. And I mean, it would have started really from anywhere here. Could have been up here. We could use this one. 1, 2, 3, right? If you want to use the actual inception of it. It would be this little baby swing into the bearish fair value gap. And that's one whole move lower. Retracement for a second move lower. Third move. So then we clear the first high. Hesitate below the second one. Get through it. Which is why I'm thinking we could actually come back into this. And still hold from there. Holding new week opening gap actually. So we may keep that low intact. Right, where we had the 2-minute, this is a 2-minute institutional order flow entry. New week opening gaps holding pretty nice. For me though, I'd probably wait for this. Just a deeper retracement, better entry. If we ran from here, it'd make sense why. But if I was trying to enter, I would probably use one of these inefficiencies, either the old daily high. Kind of aligned with the breaker, right? If we went low, high to the lowest low, that gets broken. This swing high here, the breaker. I was like, we could actually try a paper trade here. Let's see, what's the 2-minute looking like? Under the volume imbalance right here. We'll let this rock and then see what we get. After this, we'll probably wrap it up for the morning and for the week. Well, now we chop. Hey, Tan, are you in here? Let's see. T. Oh, yes, you are. Cool. I'll just answer your question in here, Tan, if that's cool with you. That you sent me earlier. About, what was it? If market is going up and a new BISI is created, do I expect price to come back fully to rebalance the whole BISI? And right, this is a tough question because it's very, it just depends, right, on a lot of other factors. So like in this instance here, right, this was a good case of it. The market has started to move up. We're creating new BISIs. Like this one here, right, I would not expect price to return into it because we've created a more recent one here. But now even in this sense, because we have an inversion level here, like this, right? So we were using that 2-minute inversion. I'll just kind of point out the 1 minute. But because we have this inversion level here, now although we have a fair value gap here, I would not want to see this entire fair value gap be retraded into, because then that would be a deeper retracement than kind of really this inversion on that higher time frame would want to see. So kind of the same way here now, as we break higher, this one here, I'd kind of like to see just a tap of it, right? Kind of hold the daily high and then continue to run. If I'm being honest, I don't really ever want to see, like if I'm bullish, I don't ever really want to see the whole fair value gap be retraded into, because then there's a higher chance that we are starting to retrace. Like if we're extremely bullish, more often than not, when we create fair value gaps, we shouldn't really get any lower than that consequent encroachment. So we'll wick it and then run. And that's kind of the best case scenario. Because if we start coming back to fully refill in fair value gaps and then break, right, that's just a lot choppier price action. We're getting deeper retracements than we would like to see normally. Yeah. Hopefully you are here. If not, maybe I'll just respond to you in the... Oh, I see you typing. Okay. Yeah, no problem, brother. But I guess, yeah, now that I think about it, like if we really were trending, I don't like seeing fair value gaps be closed in fully. I prefer either institutional order flow entry drills or consequent encroachments at the highest. So kind of like this one, right? This, as a little caveat, the wick, I guess, can say we can get above, but I don't ever want to see the body getting above consequent encroachment. So this one's here fine because we're wicking, but I don't like to see if when bodies start enclosing inside that fair value gap. So that's why we mentioned here, this is best case when we're wicking the fair value gap, but holding higher discounts. That's what I like to see. And then we were able to capitalize that quickly into 5 handles. See what we can get here. Starting to kind of form equal lows, relative equal lows. So this may be a good opportunity to run some lows, return into a discount. Reverse to clear some highs. Yeah, if I'm using a fair value gap as a target, honestly, my entry will usually come on the low of it or high. So like, let's say like here, right? You can see it right here. If I'm aiming for this bearish fair value gap paired with this inversion, my first exit will always come on the very low of it. So reverse it for sells, obviously. Just in case we want to wick it quickly and then reject. Now, if I'm expecting price to be very bullish, like if I'm aiming for a buy side target and I'm partialing here, I'll most likely partial at consequent encroachment, because that's where price will more than likely retrace. Because if we're bullish going for this high, right, we shouldn't have much hesitation here anyway. But if we do, the consequent encroachment is what usually will kind of create that for us. So we'll let this play out within the next 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the week for us here. So kind of already I would have preferred that we actually held this level, because this is this volume imbalance right here that I'm looking at. We got underneath that. We could hold the fair value gap, that's fine. But ideally, right, the fact that we kind of give up this daily high here can cause slight hesitation. We need to see price start getting back above that ideally. We have this fair value gap here. On a 2 minute, there's nothing there. Right, so this is where it can be tricky because we want the 2 minute to hold ideally. But the 1 minute may want to revisit this little area in here, which is why my stop is underneath that fair value gap. Nice. So that'd be ideal. If we can actually get back above new week opening gap, start going higher, that'd be nice. Leave bullish volume imbalance open. Don't overtake it. If we kind of start overtaking this, this is the lowest I'd want to see here. Like, yeah, see that rejection right there is big time negative because we did not only rejected, we actually closed underneath this fair value gap here, right? This consequent encroachment. So now this, if we give this up here, obviously will be stopped, but we can kind of already see how, right, we could be cutting risk. As soon as we close under this, I would have cut risk. It's a paper trade, so we let it rock. But with how I kind of manage trades, I wouldn't want to see that consequent encroachment give way. As soon as it does, we're closing. So now if we ran to target, it still happens. But more often than not, you see how we now attack that stop. So the market will often tell you what really the next move is, right? And if you can interpret that, then you can really prevent yourself from taking full stops. To where, especially look at how we reject from here, okay, right? So we open with a bullish volume imbalance. We reject from a new week opening gap and closing the bullish volume imbalance while breaking through consequent encroachment and underneath the daily high. That right there tells me all I really need to know. And then notice how the next candle opens with the bullish volume imbalance and creates that candle where we don't wick higher at all. Immediately, now in a hurry, as soon as we close under this, very next candle reaches for, right, the discounts here. So now we had this swing low, but in that same sense, we never hit consequent encroachment. Right through the low. And now we're starting to actually break, let's see, pretty aggressively. 1, 2. I'm like, if we can close underneath this, because that's the last 2 minute. holding kind of a higher time frame YouTube model potentially, right? So like a 5-minute sense. We've ran that short-term high, we've broken structure, holding the actual in the sell side. What's that, 5? Let's try one of these. Volume imbalance entry. Obviously, you know how that works. So if this closes, we close the trade. If we get stopped, we get stopped. But at this point, we're just playing. See if we can't get a order flow here dialed in. So I'm thinking if we're going to close under this 1 minute, right, as we mentioned on a 2 minute, the 2 minute has actually closed underneath it as well. So I'd want to see if these wouldn't kind of hold us, give us a chance at running lower. But this volume imbalance needs to stay open. If we hold consequent encroachment, I might give it one candle opportunity. I just don't like when we're using the actual volume imbalance. If it closes, I'm not a fan of that too much. We'll do this. We'll switch it up. Usually, right, real trade, I'm closing it fully. But here, we're kind of just experimenting, seeing if we can't get on board for a sell-side delivery. Heading into 11. Baby. Look, if we close above that, we'll close it. Opening with the volume imbalance, we'll just close it there. No need to be messing around. I like the idea though of coming, or if I show you what I was meaning on the 5 minute. Short-term high, daily high, cleared. Break in structure, bearish fair value gap. Here. 5 minute consequent encroachment holds paired with new week opening gaps to now overtake the most recent discount in the form of this 5 minute. So we got a 5 minute there, we got a 5 minute there. If we go purely 5 minute structure, nothing there, nothing there. 5 minute here. So we're holding the last 5 minute discount, right? 5 minute candle closes underneath that. We'll be now forming a new fair value gap here. So 5 minute would still lean towards right this low next. Shallow run, potentially relative equal lows. I like that. One more time, I'll kind of run over what we took advantage of. So we understood this morning, right? We saw that we had cleared this here as a daily high. So we cleared that daily high. We put in the YouTube model, holding the breaker, the inversion, and the bearish fair value gap. And now we accelerate lower. As we accelerate lower, we completely disregard any discount formed in here, slicing right through that low resistance and closing underneath this low. So at this time, we have formed a high, a low, highest high now broken. These last down close candles become our breaker that we were utilizing. We drag that out. We notice that within the breaker, we have formed a 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Well, so here's the breaker, here's the fair value gap. And now that is also aligned with our 830 open level. So if we're going to break underneath all of those, and now we still have sell side targets to reach for here and here, it makes sense to use that most recently formed premium to hold. So you see we return into the breaker, right? We're using the fair value gap paired with the 830 level. We get short, stop just above the volume imbalance. First partial comes to 5 handles, and then ultimately we target this sell side here. All right, so we get out right on that sell side. Price runs it one more time, and now breaks structure at the high. we thought about going short inside this fair value gap. So we try initially. We understand we're off sides now as this fair value gap gets overtaken. So as we overtake that fair value gap, creating new discounts in the form of this volume imbalance. And now this bullish fair value gap here. So as we trade into the volume imbalance for the first time, we reverse our position and go long. Stop now underneath the fair value gap. As we trade into the volume imbalance for a second time, we go ahead and add another one. Same stop. We ultimately reach into the actual 1 minute fair value gap. That's what the low is. And then we just get out at 5 handles paired with the new week opening gap. So catch a short-term swing high. We give one more run above that. And now you kind of see where we are, just kind of consolidating around the 830, old daily high, and potentially the new week opening gap. So all in all, good morning for us. I was able to switch our buys pretty quickly, understand what market was trying to do, and capitalize it both going lower and then higher as well. So with that, quick question. Imagine you shorted the volume imbalance rejection, then the candle closes inside that volume imbalance. Imagine you shorted the volume imbalance rejection. So I'm going to guess you're saying this one here. This? Or which one? Like this one? Oh no, because you said shorted, so I think you mean this one. Oh, I see what you mean. I mean, ideally, as a rule of thumb, if I'm using a volume imbalance for entry, I don't want to see the bodies close underneath it or above it, right? So like in this case here, I'm using this volume imbalance for entry. I understand there's a fair value gap here, so we can wick into that, but I don't want to see the bodies give up that volume imbalance, especially because this one was the one where, right, more significant, because when we open here, we don't even tap this close. So that's why I'm using this one and not this one as well, in case you guys are wondering that. Like, why am I choosing this one? It's because when we create this one, we never give an opportunity or a chance to get into the low or the close of this previous candle. So that's more significant. And that's why this is the one that holds, even though we have one here. But yeah, ideally, if I'm using volume imbalances for entry, I don't want to see bodies breaking those levels. That'd be a good way to see it. But yeah, if that is it, that'll be all for this week, everybody. Shortened week. Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. Friday will be of no interest to me as well. Right, you guys could have a long weekend. No need to be looking at it. Take Thursday, Friday off. Let me see what we have next week. So next Monday, we have high impact news. So we'll actually come back next Monday. We'll meet up next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Thursday. So we'll have a nice week next week. Yeah, I hope you guys found that helpful, insightful. Yeah, going forward, right, I don't really have any bias, no outlook or anything. So when we meet up on Monday, we'll kind of meet up a little earlier and kind of run through what we would expect to look for that week. But until then, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and we will talk next week.